Hi, my name is Timbo, and this is the Living Fearlessly podcast, all about pursuing your dreams and overcoming your fears. Each week, I'm going to have an amazing guest where we talk about how they overcome their fears, the fears they are yet to face, and the tools that help them do so. So it's a chance to get to know me and the guest. We're going to get personal. So let's get started. There is nothing to fear. And I have a very, very special guest today. He is the voice of the cost of living crisis and king of povos. I am a very, very big fan of him personally, and I think he's absolutely amazing. We have Shabaz.
Hey. Hiya, you're right.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. This is a very professional looking setup. I'm
Thanks.
loving it. It's very, you got your book on display, all
I
these
try.
mics and cameras, action.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Spotify hooked a girl up, and I'm
Yeah.
very, very grateful.
This is no
honestly.
Povo studio, is it?
Yeah, honestly, no
Yeah.
Povo studio.
On today's episode of I'm Rich Your Poor Like a Fat, I know Spotify studio.
Oh my gosh, honestly, I'm so glad to have you actually on.
I appreciate it.
The Povo stuff is it gets to me because it's hilarious. It's hilarious. I'm sure rich people are looking at your stuff thinking, "Oh, he's making fun out of me." Oh my god, So.
Well, don't post it and then I won't make fun of it.
Oh my gosh. So do you know what? Where I first saw you was The Circle.
That's crazy.
On Channel 4. I don't know how many years ago that was.
2 years ago today, I went in on The Circle.
Today?
Today, filming right now. 2 years today, I went in on The Circle.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
That's crazy. And look, 2 years later, look at where you're at.
I know, it's crazy. Do you know what? It's really weird that you say that because not a lot of people do. Because I got this big following very recently. 2 years ago today, I was on 20K on Instagram or something like TikTok, sorry. And on Instagram, I had like 4,000 followers or something. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy that, and you recognize me from there. And I was only there for a couple of seconds.
Seconds? No, episodes. Let's say episodes.
Yeah.
And how was your experience on there?
Do you know what? It was a brilliant experience in terms of it was something so different. The reason I did that show was because I wanted to showcase social media in a different light. Like, who wouldn't want to experience what it's like to live somebody else's shoes for one day?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How incredible of an experience. Doing reality TV and what it takes to make reality TV, it wasn't for me.
Really?
Yeah, it was long hours, just a lot of mind games. With the format of the show, though, because you're pretending to be someone else, there's this real sense of, you lose yourself because you're trying to be somebody else. So there was times where I was playing this character, but I was forgetting that I was playing this character. I've always been quite 100% myself or authentic as possible. So yeah, it was hard. It was difficult.
I can imagine, because I'm thinking about how it must have been being isolated from the whole world.
But bear in mind, we did it straight after lockdown. So we filmed it in September 2020.
Right.
So, after the world had sort of just...
So you're used to that anyway.
Yeah, that's all we did for like months. We had practice.
Yeah, exactly.
I had so much practice I live on my own. If anything, I went in going, yeah, this is brilliant.
Oh my God. So cool. Do you know what? I think we should get into quickfire questions.
Oh, I hate quickfire rounds. But mind you, they'll edit this, won't they? So it'll look like I'm well professional.
Exactly. It's okay. Okay, but we're going to get in deep. Right?
Oh, okay, go on.
A little bit deep. Mm-hmm. So the first question is, what was your greatest fear as a child?
Dying. I think dying has always been my greatest fear.
Really?
Yeah, I really, really fear dying. And most people would say you shouldn't fear dying because it's inevitable. Like we're all gonna die. For me, do you know what? Since I was a young age, I've always known that I was meant to do something amazing in the world.
Yes.
And the reason I fear dying is what if I do and I leave it all behind and I don't get to do that.
You would have created a legacy. I know this is quickfire questions, but I feel like this is interesting as well, like hearing your perspective on this. Like you're leaving a legacy as well and making a difference in the world.
But I just don't think I've done enough. I never feel like I've done enough, which is why I constantly fear death, because I think in my mind, what if tomorrow this is it? What if I don't wake up tomorrow and I don't have to finish the legacy I want to leave behind, the work I want to do, the impact I want to leave on this earth. It's not just about comedy. There's so much I want to
Yeah.
do on this planet and for the planet and for humanity that it's so overwhelming.
There's so much to be done.
Yeah. So yeah, death has always been my biggest fear.
Wow.
If you wanted, like, you said deep, so I went deep.
Yeah,
Because if you wanted to fear,
No,
I
because
fear.
it's deep, and I'm very interested in your answer and perspective. And with this quick fire, we'll be here the whole time.
the whole podcast will be quick fire, won't it?
literally. But yeah, we'll move on to the next one. What is your greatest fear now?
I think the death thing will always be there. I think as I achieve more and I do more in the world, that fear goes away.
Yes.
But I don't know if that comes with age though, because I feel like when older people say that, don't they? The younger when they were young, they thought, death was scary. But as they got older, they were just like, it's like a welcomed friend, like someone that they're just welcoming. I think my biggest fear is losing my family now.
Yeah.
If you want like a deep answer,
it's very scary.
Yeah, just any family member, isn't it? Like, I think losing them and not seeing my mom, especially because I'm really close to my mom. So for her not to be able to, someone who's always championed my success, for her not to be able to see the fruits of my labor, like see how much I've put into it and the world that I've left behind, like she'll leave it behind and she'd not be able to see that. I think that's quite scary. But I mean, I've got 100 million irrational fears if you really want to hear them. Like, I'm scared of heights, spiders, snakes, animals, closed spaces, holes, everything.
Holes? You're one of them.
Let's not even talk about it. Stresses me out.
Oh my God. What's the name of the fear
Trypophobia.
again?
I'm scared of crumpets, crumpets.
Stop it.
Fearful.
So when you see it in the supermarket...
No, don't. I run the other way. So one time this woman left it in the aisle. She must have dropped it out of a trolley and I couldn't go down the aisle. I had to ask one of the people working there to move it. No, I'm scared. Fearful.
What? Are you scared of you going through the holes, or...
I don't know what it is.
Or the look of them?
It's the
Sorry.
Let's not even talk about it.
Okay, let's move on to the next one because we don't want to frighten you too much. If you were afraid, who would you call?
My mum. I mean, yeah, I think we always do, don't we? Like, I think, like, I would just like in Punjabi we say "ammi," which means mom. So the first thing you do is whenever you jump, you're like "ammi," like it's just the thing. Like, I think when people are in their natural scared state, the mom is the first person to think about. So yeah.
If you were afraid and you couldn't call anyone, what tricks would you use to stay cool?
Scream, shout.
Okay.
I think letting out your natural bodily response, whether that, I mean, I'm saying release, but then not too much release because you might end up weeing yourself or pooing yourself. Like, I don't think you could release too much. Like when I thought it was going down that avenue, when I was like, release your bodily, I thought, no, let's not even go there because I think screaming and shouting would definitely make me less fearful. Mm-hmm. If you saw a ghost, right, the first thing you're going to do is scream, aren't you? And then it'll just make you feel better. It might even scare the ghost off. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
It will scare the ghost
Or if you
off.
see a snake, you're scared of snakes. Scream, shout, snake's going to run away.
Or suffocate you.
Oh, yeah. Or love, because snakes like it, don't they?
Yeah, they'll eat you
Never
whole.
Mind. Okay, well, that's not good advice then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, you're too funny. What would you say to your young self if you were coming up in the social media world or as a teacher? Oh yeah, Shabaz is a teacher. We didn't know that. But I'm just anyway. You mentioned that.
I finally told people that I'm a teacher now because I really kept it quiet for a while. So, but yeah. Well, anyway, we can talk about that. What advice would I give to my younger self right now? I would say if you have a talent, nurture it and showcase it and go out there and show the world how amazing you are. Yeah. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise and do not listen to anyone's opinion because the only person's opinion matters is yourself.
Exactly.
And I think any young person that ever watches, listens to anything that, you do or I do or we do out of here is to do that, to live fearlessly.
Yes, live fearlessly.
See, plug. You need to hire me as your PR. I'll do your job.
I love it.
But live fearlessly is that say, honestly, just to have the best time ever and do not let anybody tell you otherwise.
Exactly.
Life's just so short. And if you're brilliant at what you do, then let the world see that. Hiding it away is not going to do anything.
People need to listen to that, because there's so many people that are talented that don't know how much the world needs to see their talent,
Yeah.
and they're too scared to show it because they're scared of people's opinions.
100%. And it's sad because I know so many people, like I've got a platform and you've got a platform, but there's so many people out there with so many amazing stories and voices
Yeah.
that are just silent at the moment, that haven't had a chance. And I sometimes think about myself and I'm like, oh my God, I've been given this opportunity, been blessed with this opportunity. But what about all those voiceless people that have so much more that they can bring to the world?
It's true.
I really want them to do the same and share your story, share your talents, share your fears, just share everything.
Exactly. Share it all. And I think it's just, so many people aren't confident enough to share it whatsoever. Sorry, we're going so deep on this quick fire question. We'll go deep later. We'll head to that later.
That's fine.
Anyway, for those of you who don't know, my book has 10 commandments, and we are going to be discussing each and every one and what your perspective is on each of them. So the first one is commandment 1. Be unexpected. Don't change yourself to fit the world's expectation. Change the world to make it expect you. So how do you define people's expectations of yourself?
Oh, that's a really good. This book. Oh, I'm gonna love this book. I
can't wait.
Honestly, it's brilliant. I spent so much time thinking about what other people's expectation of me was,
Right.
and like the idea that I lived to please other people or to listen to what their perspective, what their version of me was. I think I forgot what the question was now.
How do you defy other people's expectations of yourself?
I think that the way I'm going to defy other people's expectation is just do whatever's right by me.
Yeah.
So I think my expectations are always going to be very different to others. And I think other people, not everyone has the best expectations or the highest expectations of you, but some people have too high expectations of you.
Yeah.
So you can never find that, that Goldilocks in the middle, the best one. So I think just do what's right by you. If you go with your gut, you're never going to be wrong.
It's true.
Always go with your gut, and whatever you think is right by you, do it.
Exactly.
If you make a mistake, then make a mistake, but do what's right by you.
It's about learning from that mistake as well.
100%.
Like, I'm sure at the beginning, like, you're thinking, oh my God, what are people going to think about this? What are people going to think about that? And then as you're getting better at it, it's like, oh my God, how
why did I restrict myself? And
So it's just one of those things. Always defy people's expectations, and if they expect more from you, just do your best, really. Like, but what was expected of you growing up though?
So I feel like my parents have always been, like, I come from an Asian background, and you can probably understand this as well. Ethnic parents are usually you need to have a career, you need to be a doctor, nurse, engineer. But I think that comes from their self-preservation, because my parents came to this country next to nothing, and worked hard to provide us with everything, and they want us to then go on and have that and have everything. And the way we can have everything is by utilizing all the education and all the country offers. So they always, I know I always wanted to go down the media route and just be amazing online or in TV or whatever.
Yes.
And my parents were always like, have a career first. So have an education, have something behind you, educate yourself, put yourself on a pedestal and on a level where people will look up to you, and then go out there and change the world.
Yeah.
But have something behind you that is your backbone.
Exactly.
And my education and my degree and my career is my backbone. Not that I'm saying it's everybody's. If that's not what you wanted, if college, university is not for you, that's fine. For me, that's what my crux was. So that was my expectation. Whereas now, I think as an adult, my parents are like, just for crying out loud, just get married, have children. I think my mum's biggest expectation is when are you going to settle down, buy a house, and do the normal
I think
route?
they're always expecting something.
Yeah, my mum's never. I mean, my mum goes to me, as long as you get married, have children, and buy a house, I won't have any more expectations on you. I'm like, really?
She'll probably say next, like, have another child.
Yeah, or then there's something else. Buy another house.
Your child needs to do this now.
Yeah,
your child, like, she'll have expectations of your child. Then I feel like I completely relate 100%. my parents, they came to this country and they started working as cleaners in a hotel. And yeah, like they saw what the country had to offer, and
Yeah.
they worked their way up,
Mhm.
going to university, being nurses themselves, and then expecting their children to do the same.
Yeah.
But when I first started getting into social media and stuff, they kept saying, well, I want you to finish that degree.
Mhm.
You know, you
Yeah.
can't be them dropouts. No offense to people that drop out, but they've always taught me, whatever you start, you have to finish.
100%.
You're in this country, you have opportunities.
Yeah.
Back home, there isn't.
Because they know people that don't have those opportunities. I think
Yes.
we are privileged enough, especially our generation. And when we grow up and we have children, we will be so privileged that we will never know that struggle.
Yeah.
So we won't have seen that struggle. So we won't have those expectations. Whereas they've seen the struggle,
Yeah.
they've gone through the struggle, they've seen their relatives and family members go through that struggle. So they're like, why would you not, in a country that provides you so much, grasp everything?
Exactly.
On the flip side, it's hard because then,
So much pressure.
and not only that, when there's no one around in these careers, in the media, there's not, and people that look like us have only just started coming into it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Younger people are now pushing the boundaries a bit more, but we didn't get that opportunity. Like, my parents were like, education first. My mum said to me, she was like, once you got your degree, do what you want, go on TV and do whatever
Really?
you want now. But
That's good.
so
That was your way
yeah,
way out for her, like, in a way. But yeah, I feel I completely relate to that. Going on to commandment 2. Let love be your superpower. Take care of those who care about you, and they will help you fly. So, who are the people that made you fearless? And I know you've spoken about your mum as well.
yeah.
So
I have to say, I grew up around a lot of strong women. My female friends, my female cousins, women have always empowered me to be fearless.
yes,
Because in a world that tells women not to be that, they've always been the opposite of that. So I grew up around like my friend's mom, who was just so matriarchal. That family ran because
Yeah.
she decided everything. No man told her what to do.
love
And I've
that.
always empowered that myself. I think that message always was part of who I am. So yeah, I'd definitely say the people who I love the most have always been my female friends, my female family members, sisters, cousins, and just people that are still around me are the strongest people that are around me are my female friends. And my my best friend, who's an absolute gem of a human and couldn't do enough for humanity, and that's who I look up to. And I think
Were they the ones that like made you believe in your content when you
Yeah.
showed them at first? Like,
I've lost a lot of friends along the way.
Same.
I think it's one of the journeys, one of the biggest lessons I learned in life was, like one of the greatest lessons I learned was those people that didn't support me. I learned the biggest lesson from them.
Exactly.
Because they could never see what I saw in myself.
Right.
Some of my friends have really seen, like especially one of my friends who I'm so close to. She's always been my biggest fan. She just is my biggest fan. Anything I do, anytime I say something, she acts like it's the biggest thing. And someone like me who like downtrodden, like was always downtrodden, always treads on
Yeah.
myself, and like always dobs myself down. She's like, no, you are amazing. Like she would literally. She's just always supporting. So yeah, I definitely say she's definitely up there. And even my mum, because like my mum and my mum, my sister-in-law as well. She's she's just amazing. I've got some really good people around now.
good.
Now I'd say.
Good now, because
Yeah,
I
takes a
know
while.
I related to the bit when you said like you've lost some friends along the way. Because for me, especially when I was starting out, and when fans would come up to me, I'd have this friend. She would roll her eyes when
Yeah.
fans would come up to me, and I'm thinking, this should be a great moment. I've been
Yeah.
waiting for this
Be
for
proud.
years, like for people to recognize and see my stuff. And then now you're rolling your eyes. From that time, I just had to cut that friendship because I was thinking, okay, I can't fly with this friend.
Yeah.
She's going to hold me back.
Yeah.
So everyone else surrounding me has always supported me, always given me ideas,
Yeah.
always helping me along the way. So that's why I mentioned they will help you fly, because you need help along the
Yeah,
way.
they
You need to be
lift you
lifted.
up, and like even like lift you up, throw you up, and give you that
Yeah,
little go on and watch you go up and go,
exactly. My
yeah,
dad always says the sky's the limit. So
yeah.
yeah, man, I need to be like, we need to be pushed now and again by our loved ones. So yeah. Speaking of haters, yeah, rise above is the next commandment. It's commandment 3. Every great thing was at one point new and different. Those who fear their own difference will want to point out yours. So, if you want to be great, you're going to have to need to rise above.
Hmm.
Haters want you to feel the fear. How have you dealt with that?
Do you know what? In all honesty, I think I get very little hate or abuse
That's
online,
so good.
and I think it's good. But what it's done for me is it's made my skin thinner. You know, like when they say I have thick skin.
Dinner.
Yes, because not having hate, I've got too comfortable with it. I've got
Right.
too comfortable with all these people saying positive things all the time
Okay.
that I feel like developed over the course of my life. I've always developed a really thick skin. I was bullied as a high school pupil. I was bullied by my family members, like not my immediate family members, but relatives.
Yeah.
And I developed a really thick skin. You know, you could not say anything to me that I wouldn't even let you. It would bounce straight off, right? But as time's gone on, because there's so many people, thousands, I've got, a million people saying some or have access to say some lovely things. When somebody says something nasty, it really takes me back.
Really?
Yeah, it really does. So, but I think the thing is, what takes me back more than anything is when they voice my own insecurity. It's not that what you're saying to me hurts, it's what I'm saying to myself. You've just said it to me as well. That's what hurts more. And I think I'd take your advice 100%. Like, you need to live, don't let other people, have an impact on you. But I don't know how at this moment in time, I really don't know how I would deal with it because I've just not had a lot of the
Really?
last couple of months. Like I'd say since I've grown so big, I've not had a lot of abuse. So I don't really know how to
Do you know
handle
what? I
it.
think because you get so much positivity, it's drowning out the
Maybe
negativity.
that's what it is.
And
Yeah.
anyone that even comes for you, your fans are
Yeah.
on it.
But that's what it is. I think maybe because there's so much positivity that it's probably getting drowned, or maybe I'm
Yeah.
just overseeing it or like going, it's not there, but maybe it is
You
there.
get thousands and thousands of comments.
Yeah.
So if, let's say, for example, 999 was positive and you see that one comment, I'm sure there's many comments cussing that person.
Yeah.
So it's
They've done the job for me. I don't think I
they've
need
done
to
the
do it.
job
Yeah.
for you. So
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I guess so. But I think I clap back. So people say it to me all the time. They're like, I think there's this perception that just because I'm quite positive and I'm quite, vocal, that I have to be nice all the time. Like if
yeah,
you come for me, you're gonna get it, honestly. Like I don't even mean that in a nasty way, but the truth of the matter is I can go
you
there
can give it back.
100%. And I think there's been times where somebody's written a nasty comment and I've gone in
Yeah,
and they've been like, how dare you talk to me like that? And I'm like, how dare you talk to me like that? What did you think I
exactly.
was gonna do? Do you think I'm public property? Do you think you
Innit?
own me that I can't say what I want to you? So yeah, no,
That is hilarious that they
yeah.
think you
The
can't clap back.
audacity of you to turn around and say this to me when I abused you.
It
You know what I mean?
makes no
Yeah,
sense.
it doesn't, does it? But it's because I think the influencer culture has done that, though. I think the
Do you think
influencer culture,
so?
yeah. Because think about it. I work as a teacher, so I don't rely on followers to pay my bills. Like I appreciate them. I love the idea that people are following and laughing along,
Yeah,
but they don't pay my bills. So
yeah, it's
if
true.
10,000, if I had 1 million followers and like 100,000 started unfollowing me because they didn't like something I said, I'd still get paid my teacher wage at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Whereas an influencer wouldn't. So they would apologize. They'd go out there and say, I'm so sorry that I offended you. Da, da, da. Whereas I'm like, oh, well.
Oh well,
Yeah,
sorry. I
sorry.
offended you.
Sorry I offended you, but I'm not wrong in what I'm saying. I'm just saying it. You just didn't like it. So
Exactly.
and that's why the people think that I can say what I want to this influencer or this person online and they won't clap back. And then when I do, they're like, but that's not how it's meant to go.
I'm supposed to be just cutting you, and
Yeah.
you're my punch bag.
And you're supposed to say, I'm so sorry. So no.
Hilarious. Honestly, I think my experience online with haters, especially at the beginning,
Yeah.
it was terrible because I think obviously I was out of the ordinary
Yeah. Yeah.
when there's always been little people about, but I guess because I was confident and I guess some people didn't like that.
Yeah.
They just started calling me all sorts of weird
That's
names
so
and
weird because
rude names.
I've always seen, ever since I've known you, I've always seen such a confident person, and I've always thought I can't imagine anyone saying negative because of how confident you appear. So when
Thank you.
people appear as confident as you, people aren't that negative because they're like, well, how am I supposed to bring her down when she's all the way up there? Like, this girl is flying. There's no way I can drag her anywhere.
Yeah, people try. They
But
try it because they see me and think, how can someone like her be so confident? And
that's
like,
awful.
I guess it's obviously their internal pain
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
internal situation that's going on.
yeah,
But I think as well, my parents have really instilled in me that haters don't matter. My family, my friends,
yeah,
people that love me, they're the ones that actually matter at
yeah.
the end of the day. So, like, even when I go out sometimes, not even sometimes, all of the time, people staring, like, looking at me funny, taking pictures of
Oh my
me.
God, really?
Yeah,
Does that still happen? Because
yeah.
it's 2023, for crying out loud.
I
We
know,
don't know.
bloody hell. Guys,
Like,
have you not seen enough of me online? Or I need to show you more.
but we've not, it's not like we don't come, oh, that's strange. It's not
I
like you've just
know.
come off a different planet. You know what I
I
mean? You're
know.
not bright green,
Some
aren't
people are
you?
weird.
That
Yeah.
is strange. In 2023, though,
In
this is why I'm saying,
2023.
like, I totally, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not justifying it, but 10 years ago, 15 years ago,
Yeah.
I
If
get
it
it.
was out of the ordinary, then
I get it.
cool.
But right now, in 2023, when we are exposed to so much
Yeah.
information, you cannot, I don't know, people are weird.
Yeah. People are weird. So rise above.
Yeah,
And
100%.
yeah, how I deal with it is I just block them and use the filter.
Oh, that's
Thing.
brilliant. Isn't that the best thing
Yeah.
ever, though? Like,
Do you
keyword,
filter
I
out
keywords
keywords?
everything.
That's
I
why
put,
you don't see stuff as well.
oh, is that what it is? And here's me like, I don't get abuse. It's because I've got 5 million keywords.
Like,
Like, you're allowed 200. I've got
How many
200.
keywords do you have?
I got 200 keywords. Like,
that you've
I filtered out.
really.
I filtered out every single variation you
That's
could
why
possibly.
you're not getting anything.
Yeah, any abuse.
Anyone that tries it, you're not
Yeah,
seeing it.
I'm not seeing it, and that's the best thing.
That's the
Live
best
my best
thing.
life. I never have to see it. You're not coming on
Exactly.
my page, and I have to see it. Like, people are like,
Yeah.
why'd you delete comments? Because I don't want to see it on my
Because
page.
it's your
It's my
page.
page.
Oh my god.
You don't come to my house and graffiti my house, and then I don't scrub it off, and you're like, why did you not scrub that graffiti off the wall? My
When
house.
people ask me that, it's so funny because I'm like, this is what I created,
Yeah.
and this is what I just posted, and you
Yeah.
come and cuss me, and then you're telling me, oh,
You came into my house, weed on my carpet,
Yeah.
and then asked me why I'm annoyed. Tell me again how that makes any sense.
how does that make
No.
sense?
So, yeah.
Makes zero sense. Okay, we are going to move on to commandment 4. Commandment 4. Trust the journey. The path to your dreams will at first seem so long, but if you learn to love the journey, then you will never get tired.
Oh my God.
Yes, so
I love your
that's the
book.
advice I'm giving
I
people.
bloody love your book. It's me.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it. So, do you often stop and appreciate where you've got to?
Yes. No.
No. Do you know what? I feel like because you've got here so fast, it feels like a whirlwind for you.
Yeah.
How do you
No,
feel?
you're right. You're 100% right. I think I had I had a moment a couple of weeks ago, and it was like when I hit 1 million, and after that I just was like, I took a moment and I just went, oh my God. And I don't think I am, like, right now I'm sat here with you and I'm here. I've come on a train to record a podcast with you. I've just met some amazing people with, the agency we're with. And I still, like, when the way they talk about me and the way people describe me and the way you've done it, I don't appreciate the journey and what's happened because it's happening so quick. No, you're right. I haven't had a
Appreciate it.
moment. I haven't had a moment. Oh my God, I can't wait for this book. This book is gonna. I want one now. I'm just hit that book. You
Yeah.
better turn around because I'm gonna snatch that book right if
You're gonna. I really hope you
is
like it, man.
brilliant.
Because
It's just so good.
I want people to stop and think about where they are in life,
Yeah.
because life is a crazy journey.
Whatever, do you know what it is though? I think people might think it's social media. No, your journey is your journey.
Yeah,
Wherever you are, social media, career, at home, family, whatever you're doing,
exactly.
everybody's on their own journey. And just take a minute and just appreciate from where you were and to where you've come.
Exactly.
And I don't think, no, you're right. I don't think, I mean, it was only just, I think I probably only just had a moment just then. Like, I think I
Yeah,
just had a,
because look how many amazing things you've done.
it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I don't know what my life is at the moment though. It's I don't.
It's just
Yeah.
happening so fast.
Yeah.
I felt like that last year as well, because so many things were happening. I was going on holiday every other week. I was flipping doing something
Hey,
new.
how do I do that? I've not done that yet.
Well,
Oh, give me that secret.
the people asked me.
Right, let me know.
Them-
If anyone's
them-
listening
them
to this,
people, the
them
brands.
people that's asking, can you send them people
No.
send me on holiday, please?
With
Yeah,
the
brilliant.
journey that you're on now,
Yes.
you will.
Right, my next step is holiday.
Yes, holidays, free holidays.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. So looking back last year, whirlwind, and
It's crazy.
it's just so fast. It happened so fast. So I do understand that, like, even stopping. Do we have time to stop?
But do you know what I do though? When I do have time to stop, I still feel like, you know, when you get off, when you're on a treadmill and you come off and your legs still feel like they're running.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. So if I have a moment where I'm just sitting, my legs still feel like they're running, and I'm like, but why am I sitting here? Should I be doing something? Should I be doing something?
Yeah,
Like,
'cause
but
you're
no,
always doing
but I
something.
don't have to do anything sometimes. But I just don't feel that at the moment. But yeah, no, that's brilliant. Brilliant bit of advice.
Yeah, it's the best advice I can give to people, because it's just something that you need to do to appreciate yourself.
100%.
And you can think about, oh, I'm not where I want to be right now, but think about where you was a year ago,
Yeah.
2 years
Yeah.
ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure your old self will be proud of where you are today.
What you have achieved, even if you don't think you've achieved what you think you've
Yeah.
achieved. Oh, that's
I'm
brilliant.
sure when you first started Instagram, did you think you'd get to 1 million?
What, in December, I was like, I just did it. But I mean, I was trying to get to 10K in December. I was like, I was on 9,000 followers. I was
When
like,
you could, you were doing that a day probably sometimes.
yeah, yeah.
Let me
It's,
just not sit back. Let me sit forward.
I just sort of like was like, oh, I really want to hit 10K in December by the end of the year. And no, I didn't. So I do need to take a step back and appreciate the journey. But I just don't think I do it enough.
When did you first start out? When was your first ever reaction video?
So bear in mind, I've been doing social media for a while. So I used to do YouTube videos. I always made like content. I loved editing, so I loved making. I love putting it together. And when I started to do, on TikTok, I did during lockdown. I did those videos, you know, like dancing videos, and we all did it. And we did crazies, and we all like danced to Dua Lipa and Doja
Yeah.
Cat and did all that. And then it was sort of like towards the end, when I went on Circle, I came out, carried on doing that. And then eventually, I just, you know, I finished work one day and I got in bed. And somebody tagged me in this really disgusting video. And I was like, let me watch it. And I just instantly reacted to it. So it went like, press duet, press stitch. And then just was like, I beg your pardon. What on God's green earth?
That was your natural reaction.
My natural reaction, what on God's green earth have I just seen here? And it was just me, and I put it up, and people were like, oh my God, that's so funny because your face mirrors what I was doing at the same time. And then the reaction thing, the more people started tagging me more videos. I mean, I'm so blessed because there's so many people that do the work for me. So like,
They're your assistants, basically.
100%. They go and search those videos. Like, I'm getting all the credit for it. They're the ones that are going out there looking for the content for me and going, here, Shabaz, you'd be brilliant at this. Tag you in this. And then I just make it. So, yeah, that was 2022, 2021, back end of 2021, I started doing
Was that
reaction.
like the second lockdown, or?
Um,
2021, there was a lockdown as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but that was the beginning of the year. So it was like 2021. It was like January time that we had lockdown. It was around that time, but I think lockdown and post lockdown. To be fair, I think my family all went abroad, and all my friends had gone abroad but got stuck there because remember we had that sort of like countries started locking down and stuff, so they got stuck there for a whole like 6-7 months. So they came back in November. So that entire time when I came home from work, my friends were stuck away, my family were away, so I had nothing to do in the house. So I'll just climb into bed, put
Fair
the
enough.
UD on,
Put Udi
and
on.
climb into bed. Get Blanky out. Well, Blanky actually came quite later on.
Can we appreciate
Yeah,
Blanky?
Blanky goes everywhere now. Blanky's my good luck charm.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I just made videos reacting the way I
and
thought.
which video blew up? Or they all started blowing up? Because I do remember, like, I'd always see you on my For You page, and I'd be thinking, "What are you reacting to today?"
I think one of the biggest ones was when there was a lady eating chicken, and she just put the chicken in her mouth and pulled it out, and I was like, "Where did the chicken go? What on God's green earth is this? What Harry Potter nonsense going on here?" And then that's one like it started blowing up. And there was another guy who had chicken where he just steamed it and he'd not flavoured it. And I was like, drier than Gandhi's flip flop chicken.
Oh, I think I remember that.
So then they started blowing up. But I think what really sort of started the I'm Rich You're Poor content was the ice cube trays. So it was, taking the ice out of the freezer to put it back in the freezer in different places. That sort of really blew up. And then obviously, Roy's sister Cherie, which Roy's sister Cherie.
Roy's sister Cherie source.
Wherever Roy's sister Cherie is, I've got to thank her for all the joy. You know what I mean? Thank you for all of this.
It just rolls off the tongue and is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, so that's my most viral video though. It's crazy.
I can't believe it. And how did that viral video happen?
I'll tell you how it happened. I got tagged in it and I was like, I clicked duet and I went, I beg your pardon? One God's green earth is Roy's sister Cherie. I then pressed upload and fell asleep. I woke up an hour later and I had 1 million views. 2 hours later and I had 1 million views and I was like, what's just happened here?
Oh my God.
I was like, something's happened here. And it started blowing up.
Because people
everywhere.
are sharing it and going insane.
Everywhere. I get stopped in the street and people shout, "Oi, Roy's sister Cherie."
No.
How's Roy's sister Cherie? Yeah.
No.
Crazy.
Crazy.
And people want me to do the line. They're like, do it. Do the line.
Do the line.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, where's the Cherie sauce?
On today's episode. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
So when was the moment you decided you wanted to take the words ain't even coming out. Like, what's going on?
The words, yeah. The math ain't mathing. The words ain't
wording.
The word ain't
wording. Okay. When was the moment that you decided you wanted to take the piss out of wealthy people?
Do you know what? In all honesty, I have taught young people for such a long time, and I've just seen such poverty. And I think for me to see how much we've all been exposed to it. We grew up on the Kardashians. Mm-hmm. We grew up watching rich people always, and the rich get richer. Exactly. Especially in where we are right now, Jeff Bezos he's now the biggest billionaire. He's got 230 billion now. He's got this many billion now. And watching how the rich are getting richer, and then there's 2 million kids, 2 million children that are starving, in Yemen. To see that and then see the disparity, I think I just went online and honestly, that wasn't the initial message. It was basically I'm just sick of seeing rich people posting online. I'm sick of seeing those content where it's just people going, oh my God, I just don't know who your target demographic is. I don't know who you know what I mean?
It's just to show off, really.
When you're showing off your bag, so who is your target demographic? You know your target demographic. I know my target demographic. I know which people are watching my videos. Who are you advertising your 15th bag to? Because none of us can afford that. And anyone that can afford that ain't watching your videos.
They're busy working or buying stuff.
Or buying their own stuff and not making their own videos, aren't they?
Exactly.
So I just was really annoyed about it. And I think I just made the video... the ice video was sort of the first thing because I was like, who has time for that? You must not have a job. I mean, I work and even if I'm off right now and I can tell you now, I do not have enough hours in the day to put ice in the freezer, to take it back out the freezer, to put it back in the freezer, right?
Just long.
Yeah. So you must be rich to do that. And that's where sort of the idea formed. And then after that, people just started, it's become a movement. I'm Rich, You're Poor is a movement, isn't it?
It really has. Do you think, do you know why it's become so popular?
The cost of living crisis?
Yeah, because people can relate to it so much.
And I think as the rich get richer, I think, do you know what? Since social media has been around, all we've been exposed to is that. And I think on Instagram, the reason I do so well on Instagram more so is, I've done well on both platforms, but the reason Instagram's done so well is because we've always seen that on Instagram. Yeah. That's what Instagram essentially has been.
Glamorizing everything.
Yes. So you're scrolling and you're seeing holiday how fit I am, how rich I am, and then Shabaz says there in a nudie telling you that it's all stupid, you're wrong, you shouldn't be doing that, and you're dumb. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because
So
you're like the only influencer that does that I
yeah,
know of.
yeah.
That I think, yeah, and I'm sure most people only know of.
Yeah, I didn't want to sound lectury. I wanted to lecture. I wanted to tell people that they were wrong, but I didn't want to lecture them. So I thought, let's do it through comedy and let's do it through like just taking the mic.
Through comedy is the
Yeah,
best way,
yeah.
because preachy, you people are gonna switch
Switch off.
off
Yeah.
straight away.
Sarcasm is British people love sarcasm. We love a good
Yes, we do it.
sarcastic.
We do it, and then when we teach other countries like the US and
Yeah,
And Australians, they're like, "Whoa, this
yeah,
comedy's funny!"
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so it's really cool. And what would you say is your next step to this journey that you're on?
Do you know, as I've started to do more of this, I've started to realize how much influence I can have. And I want to change the term influencer to be something more positive.
Yeah.
If I'm influencing, let me influence you to make a difference in the world. Let me influence you to be a better person. Let me influence you to do more for others. And the bigger the audience get, the more people I can do that with. So I think
Exactly.
it started off as a bit of a joke, a laugh, you know, and then I started realizing that the message is so important to people. You know, the term Povo Pride is what I say, and Povo Pride comes from this example that in my comment section, the reason I get so much interaction is because there are people that are so proud of the fact that I'm poor.
Yeah.
And you know what? And that's it.
So
I
what?
can't afford stuff, and so what? I
Yeah.
can't afford to spend the money that this person's spending, and here's why. Because I have this to pay, I have this to worry about. And as the cost of living crisis, as the government does what it does, we get more and more people that are understanding that content, are understanding the reason for it. So next steps for me, I don't know. I want to carry on doing this
You're
and
going to be
empowering
on
people.
this amazing journey. I can
Yeah.
already picture it for you.
Yeah.
A book. You've already got merch,
Yeah.
which people should go and buy.
Yeah.
I suggest you go and buy
By
it
the time
now.
this goes out, though, it might have disappeared because it's only on for 14 days, isn't it? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I only wanted to do a limited edition thing. I didn't want anyone to think I was doing like a cash grab or whatever. I just wanted to be able to. I know a lot of people wanted them, so I really wanted to just bring something out to celebrate reaching 1 million with all these people.
Yeah.
Get something that's limited edition that'll be yours, that we can all enjoy in the future and be like, I remember that time when I brought that hoodie out. Have you still got
Yeah.
that hoodie from like 5 years ago when I used to make content creation and now I'm, winning Oscars?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
yeah,
What
so
would you ever get into acting?
I would
or-
love to do it. I've always wanted to do it. And I think part of the thing is I've always been so moved by music and art, like arts as in like TV and film and the power that actors have. Like Angela Bassett for me is just, she makes me, Angela
Amazing.
Bassett just does the thing.
She
You know what I
does the
mean?
thing.
Angela Bassett did the thing. And I'm telling you, there's moments where I just watch her and her and Viola Davis and some of the great actors of our time, I watch them and I just think, oh my God, the you give
Amazing.
me the feeling.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to do that,
I think
you know.
can.
So
You already do it, just
Yeah.
being yourself. Imagine
Yeah.
if you were someone else,
yeah,
like
or playing someone else's story or
playing
something.
someone
yeah.
else's story.
I just
like,
love to be able to do that and just be, I don't know, maybe it's not in for me, but maybe it is. I would love to maybe try that and see if
I
it's.
think you could do. I haven't asked you how old you are, if you don't mind mentioning. on the podcast.
I'm 17.
17.
Yeah.
Oh, you look quite young.
And 13 years. No, I am. I'm 30. I'm 30.
Oh,
yeah.
you're very young.
Yeah. So listen, what did they say? Oprah didn't get anything till she was about 40. You know, what is it?
Really?
Yeah. They said in her 30s she only just started doing her show.
Wow.
And she didn't reach, great heights. And even, what's the Morgan Freeman? You know, Morgan Freeman only
Yeah.
started acting at 50.
How old is he now? Like 70 something.
So,
isn't it?
yeah, it must be something like that. So, like, there are a lot of people that, and age is never a thing. Age is never a barrier, is it? It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what age you are, you do you, like, you do whatever you want. Like, look at Angela Bassett, for example, been acting for years, only just, winning Oscars now, only winning awards now, and only getting to be praised. So the life's just whatever you do with it, isn't it? So
Exactly.
you never know. I mean,
You never,
never know.
ever know. That takes us on to the next commandment. Commandment 5. Only doubt itself. The words I can't only become true if you don't. When and why have you doubted yourself?
all the time. I do doubt myself a lot, and there's a part of me that thinks people are just probably so sick of hearing, oh my God, it sounds so woe is me. But you know who makes me laugh so much is Lewis Capaldi, because Lewis Capaldi is very much that northern, that is very northern of us, that northern charm of us. Like we don't appreciate success. Like even someone like Lewis Capaldi, who is so brilliant, still goes on and is like, oh yeah, if you want to come to my show, come to my show, but you're not going to enjoy it, it's not going to be good, and my album's not good. And like, it's like, are you kidding with that voice, with that sound, with that music? Don't even talk to me.
With all the success you've had.
But this is it. But there's always that voice that tells. I think part of that comes from being Asian, being northern, growing up the way I did. That voice is the voice of so many people that have always doubted me, that have always said you're not going to amount to much. And I think that voice doesn't go away easily.
Yeah.
I think I just need to see a therapist. But then I've always said, right, if I go see a therapist, she can say whatever she wants to me. He can say whatever he wants to me. As long as I don't say it to me, those voices are going to get drowned out. Like, you can tell me I'm brilliant, but that voice is louder inside my head than it is hearing yours. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's why it's so easier said than done. But doing positive self-talk,
100%.
like,
Be nice to yourself.
there's so many impulsive thoughts we have. Like, there's so many thoughts that tell you, okay, you're not good at this. Are you going to be able to do that in the future? This,
Yeah.
that. I tell the other thought, I literally tell it, shut your mouth, please. Be quiet. Be
Yeah.
quiet. Look at what you've done, though.
Yeah.
I always
100%.
try to just be positive with that, because yes, I am negative sometimes, and I always doubt myself, and you know, I think what helps as well, talking to people that care about you,
Yeah.
like people that are really positive, that will only bring you up. Like
But
my
I think-
boyfriend, he's always telling me, babe, have you seen what you've
Yeah.
been doing?
But the thing is with me, is even those people that say it, I'm like, oh, but you're only saying that because you love me. And you're only saying that because you're my family. And you're only saying that like for you because he's your boyfriend. But yeah, I get you. I do get you. I think what's always going to be quite prominent is this: if you don't say it to yourself, then it's no bigger voice is your own voice. With me, I think I don't want to veer into being so confident that it comes across arrogant, and I always try not to teeter into that line where I'm also empowering myself, saying you are bloody brilliant, but at the same
Yes.
time I don't want to come across like I'm being arrogant. You know what I mean?
I know
So
what you
there's a
mean.
really fine line, isn't it, between confidence and arrogance, and having confidence and faith in yourself can then turn into you acting like your poo don't smell.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that think that.
I know a lot of
literally,
people
like,
that
they do
think that.
everything,
So.
like.
And maybe they're just confident. Maybe they've just crossed over the line into arrogance, and that's why.
Yeah,
it's-
and big egos as
Well,
well.
there is that. Yeah.
God, you can't say
Yeah.
that to them. 'cause
No.
You'll bruise their ego.
Oh
We don't want
God,
that.
yeah.
We don't want that.
Yeah. But you're right. The doubt, you have to just get rid of that sound,
Yeah,
that
like
noise.
I know it's easier said than done, but when you try to get rid of it, then I guess more possibilities
Yeah.
can happen.
100%.
Because you're not stopping yourself.
Yeah.
Like with the show we're going to be doing,
Yeah.
and by the time it comes out,
I will have
We
done.
would
It
have
was
done.
brilliant, by the way.
it was
so
so much
good.
fun.
It
I
was
learned so
so
much about
successful.
myself. But like,
It's pushing
she
yourself
said-
out the comfort zone.
yeah. And I can't wait to see you on that stage.
Oh,
It's
don't.
gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I know you probably doubted yourself.
I have. Do you know what? You really helped, because I think I did have that doubt, and then hearing it from other people when they're just like, "Yeah, you're gonna be fine." And I think, do you know what? Straight talk, just straight talk. Like straight talk, it's
Exactly.
gonna be fine. I don't want to hear any more complaints. Like, and I think my friends are quite good like that. They're like,
Yes.
"It's fine. You're doing the show. It's gonna be good. Your
Yes.
set's gonna be amazing. Shut up. Done."
exactly 10
Just
minutes
no
of
noise.
telling a story.
Yeah.
That's
We've just
it.
done an hour telling a story.
We've just done nearly an hour.
Yeah.
So you can do it
Yeah.
easily, trust me. And the energy that you'll get from the crowd, it's amazing, because
it?
like that one, like even from the beginning that you told me a bit of your set, and I laughed straight away. When you hear those bunch of laughs, you're like, inside, like, trust me, you'll be like, oh, I'm
That's
funny.
me, yeah.
I'm actually funny. Let me
Real
keep going.
life people laughing, not just
Like,
comment section.
in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have
Cause
a bit
think,
about that as well. Like I'm saying, I love the public sympathy because it hits differently in real life.
oh yeah,
You know
doesn't
what I
it?
mean?
Like
So
those tears in real life mean so much more than just emoji tears.
exactly,
Yeah,
you see in real life,
yeah,
it's different, and plus the possibilities are endless
yeah,
once you know how to be on stage. There's so many events. There's so
yeah.
many
Oh
brands
my
that have
god, yeah.
that. What am I saying? Yeah, there's so many brands that will have events and want you to host it. So
Yeah, because I think once you come out off the screen, you are a real life person.
exactly.
Yeah. No, I appreciate, honestly, I really appreciate you pulling me out that comfort zone, because if you hadn't, I don't think I'd ever have half these opportunities. So yeah,
You'll do it.
yeah,
Listen, don't listen. It's all
yeah,
you.
it's
If
fine.
you hadn't said anyway,
Yeah,
from
right,
chewing sauce.
sauce.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one.
that one. Yeah, then it's all you.
Yeah,
It's
no,
all
I
you, man.
appreciate that.
Honestly, and everyone here, everyone watching, everyone that I know that loves you,
Oh,
loves
it's
your
crazy.
stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
So, did you ever doubt yourself? Let me say it to you directly. Did you ever doubt yourself when you first became a teacher?
Yeah, 100%. Oh my
Really?
god, yes.
What age were you when you first qualified?
Um, so it was 5 years ago. It's
Right.
quite young. Oh my god, yes, 100%. That, because what I did was, when I first walked into a classroom, I'd never done it before. And
Hmm.
remember, imagine you have to stand up and you have to just do what you've never done before.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
and yeah, it was really scary, and I 100% thought I'm not teaching them right. The worst thing was, I had a mentor who said her first bit of feedback to me was, that was awful. Yes.
Stop.
Yeah, she said, "Oh, that was awful. Um, you know, you,
What kind of feedback is that?
yeah, well, she's, yeah, well, she's a cow."
She's a cow, and
Yeah,
she's a cow.
um, yeah, she was just, it just wasn't constructive, but it really taught me a lot, because I think it taught me, because I became a mentor at some one point, and it taught me what not to do. So it kind of gave me that
Yeah.
empowerment, but it also made me feel really bad, but also like wanting to do better and prove her wrong and prove her that I was going to be a good teacher, because she said, "You're not going to be a good teacher. It's not going to work for you. It's probably not the right career for you." After my first ever lesson, you know what I mean? And I proved the
What the
point.
hell?
5 years later,
Yeah.
I've
You
smashed it.
smashed it.
Kids, I've had some really successful kids. I've had some kids go thank me, and I just love my job. And I'm thinking, if I'd listened to her,
Exactly.
imagine. But yeah, I did doubt myself. I think you doubt yourself all the time.
Hmm.
As teachers, you constantly doubt yourself. You constantly teach, and you have moments where you walk out the classroom and you're like, "Oh, I don't know if any of them got that. Like, did they do well?" And then when they do get it, you're like, "Oh, actually, maybe I can teach." Um,
Yes.
but yeah, I always have doubts as a teacher. Yeah, you do.
But you push through them,
Yeah,
especially at the
you got
beginning.
to carry on doing it, don't you?
Yeah.
Just you. And I wish I'd take some of my teaching lessons into my real life,
Mm.
because I pushed through it and I went, well, I don't care if there's people that rely on you, so you're going to need to carry on doing it. Even if you doubt yourself, carry on doing it. But in real life, I
Exactly.
don't take that same advice. You know what I mean? I don't take the
We need to
same.
take our own
Yeah,
advice.
100%.
We give it out to other people,
Yeah,
but we need to give it to ourselves.
100%.
We listen to the doubts that we're saying to ourselves, but we don't listen to the advice
No,
we're giving to other people.
crazy, isn't it?
The way our brains work is unbelievable. Let's get into commandment 6. Discover new perspectives. If you have a chance to see the world, then do. You will see yourself differently and you will discover new perspectives. So, have you ever taken on someone else's perspective, and has it like helped you grow, or is there a particular person you've met, let's say from a different country, or it could be just the country, like did it change your perspective?
Um, I think definitely. I think I've been so lucky to have worked in so many different jobs, so many different industries. I met so many people from all walks of life. And yet every single one of them has left a lasting impression on who I am now.
Mm.
Um, I think anytime I meet someone, I take something away from them. Um, so I am the product of all these people I've met in life, and all the joy, the misery, and
Yes.
everything they've given to me. Um, I think I'm more as I've grown older, I've been able to look at other people's perspective. When I was younger, I would like have a fight with someone or have an argument with someone and never really understand where they're coming from or what. And now, as an adult, I can sort of take myself away from that and go, right,
Yeah.
what they're saying, what they're feeling, and how are they feeling in that moment. And is it a reflection on you, or is it a reflection on them? What, you know what I mean? I can,
That's maturity right
yeah,
there.
yeah. It's yeah, exactly. It's just growing, isn't it? Knowing that I can just apologize. If somebody's upset, I can just apologize. It doesn't take anything away from me
Exactly.
by just apologizing, going, look, I apologize, you know, that I've upset you. This is not what I meant, and just clarify what you meant, and just be kinder. But also at the same time, seeing so many people in the world, like, you know, even traveling around Europe. I went traveling around Europe over summer, and I went to like 10 different countries. Yeah,
Really? How
and
is that?
crazy experience, because just meeting people from all walks of life, everybody living their life fearlessly, and everyone
Yeah.
just doing something amazing and something, or just something that's just normal to them. Yeah, everyone's definitely, all the people in my life have definitely left a lasting, long life impression on me.
Where's the most popular? Not popular. What was the most favorite? Why did that take me so long to figure out what word I was trying to
Yeah,
say?
I heard it in my head. I knew what you were saying, but it
What
just
was
wasn't coming out.
I know.
Like,
What was your favorite country that you visited?
I have to say, oh God. So I went around sort of um Eastern Europe.
How is
Um,
that?
very different. I mean, Germany was very interesting, beautiful countries. All of the countries were very beautiful. I love history, and I love like seeing history in the making. Like going to see the Berlin Wall, I blew my mind that I was stood at the Berlin Wall. I was hugging. I even licked the Berlin Wall.
Did you?
Yeah, I licked it. I don't know why. It's just I got very overwhelmed and ended up licking it.
You
Right.
ended up licking it.
Yeah.
You were like,
If I get overwhelmed, I might just lick the mic. So it was just one of those, like, I was just really overwhelmed by history and like the fact that I'm stood in history. So my favorite country has got to be, oh God, well, you're asking a difficult question. I'd say probably Slovakia. Or
really?
yes, we went to a smaller city in Slovakia. We went to the capital, went to Bratislava, and yeah, I don't know what it was about the vibe and the people. They were just
Just
chilling,
loved it.
and they were just nice. And because it was probably one of the least touristy type of places, so I think people were just like lovely there. Romania, they were lovely in Romania as well. You know, and just I think majority of them, the one that I had the worst experience is Poland.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no. Oh no.
Auschwitz was so overwhelming and so good. I'd 100% recommend. Have you ever been to the
No.
concentration camps? You have to go as a
Really?
life experience. It is so incredible to see, because I'm, like I said, I'm a lover of like the world and humanity, and like, and being able to not make the mistakes of our past,
Right.
and to see it in person, it really was overwhelming. I had a full on breakdown. I cannot even tell
Really?
you. Yeah, like I had to walk out
Because
the room. It
it's a lot.
was a lot to just walk into the room and feel the pressure of the room and the environment. But as when we got to the airport, when we got to the train station, my God, were people awful to us. They were just awful to us.
Oh
Going to
God.
Auschwitz was amazing, but at the same time, the experience we had in the day, it wasn't great.
I'm guessing I know what
You
it
can
is.
imagine. You can
I know
imagine
what
what
it
it is.
was
Yeah,
about and
yeah,
why they might.
yeah. Eastern Europe. You know, there was two of us that were both Asian. Don't have to say anything else, do I? Just leave it there.
Both Asian. Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder.
So,
Yeah. So yeah, it's just
but
the
again,
world we live in.
but that's the learning curve. Like
Yeah.
it didn't bother me. It didn't change my day. It didn't change my experience of anything. It didn't. It honestly did not change my experience, because what you have to say about me is not important. What you feel
Honestly,
about me is not important to me. I'm gonna
so
still
not
move.
important.
I'm gonna go see another country now. Bye bye. See you later.
See you
On
later.
that train. Bye.
Exactly. See you
So
later. Like
So
Anyway, I feel like it's so with that side of things. I don't want to say something's wrong because at least
feel free to cut it out, honestly, because
no.
because honestly, it's people are very,
Some I don't know if I will put this on camera, but I'm gonna say it anyway. In Turkey, right? So what happened was I went with my friend, and I don't know how, but I thought because we booked it differently, I thought we had the same returning flight in the same airport.
Okay.
But when we went together and she went to her plane, then I talked to the boarding people. They said to me, "Oh, sorry, you're at the wrong airport."
Oh no.
And it was 2 hours away. The next flight was in the morning, so I had to basically stay in a hotel.
Right.
And oh my God, the hotel staff, right? I told him the horrible experience I had, and plus I didn't have cash on me. They're not really great with card. I didn't even have a card. I had Apple Pay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Who has a card in 2023?
I know who has a card.
Yeah.
But so what happened was I told him, like, I was flustered and everything, and he was like, "Oh, do you want food?" I was like, "I can't afford food right now. I don't have. You guys don't have Apple Pay, so I'm gonna be starving basically." And then I managed to get a room. Then the same guy that offered me food came with a bunch of food, and I was like, "Oh, thank you so
Oh,
much. That's so nice.
that's lovely.
What, I don't have to pay." And then
Oh no.
he brings in the food. You'd expect him to leave, innit?
Stop it.
You'd expect him
Well, yeah,
to leave.
give me my food and bye bye.
Yeah, exactly.
See you later.
But he just sat on my bed and watched me
Stop it.
eat. Yeah.
So what was he? Was he thinking? I'm bringing you food.
Imagine I had my phone here, right? And I was on the phone to my boyfriend, and I was like, "Alan," I was talking really fast and hood in it so that they wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
I was like, "Alan, my man's not trying to leave. He's not trying to leave. Like, why is he still here?" He was like, "Tell him you're done. Tell him you're done with the food." And then I was like, "Oh, I'm full. I'm full." And then he put his hand on my belly and he was like, "You're full. You're full."
No.
I was like, "Take the food now,
Yeah.
please."
Whack him on head with the packet crisp or whatever he
It's
bought.
crazy. I'm not like, some people do solo travel, but I don't think I can ever.
Okay, don't forget so one of the things that I saw online was I made this video and it was very controversial. Didn't put it on Instagram because I was like, I don't know if I should. But I made a video where it was this couple and they were like, "You should travel the world. Everybody should go see the world. It's amazing. I've been traveling to 112 countries." And they put that, you dance with your hands.
Yeah.
And I've re-sank it. So I said, "You want to go traveling? Be white, be rich, be a man.
Yeah.
Because let's call a spade a spade. You
yeah.
can't go and travel the world. I can't go and travel the world and go to any country I want because there are at least about 10 countries that don't like me because I'm Muslim. Because, for whatever reason, Asian, whatever, you're a black female.
Yeah, and a little person as well.
I can give you a list of countries that you will not be safe in. Tell me how me sitting online going, "Oh, you should go travel and see the world." How are you empowering me to go see the world when you are of a certain ethnicity, of a certain race, of a certain background, of a certain sexual orientation, of a certain of a certain ability as well? Because let's go there. And you're telling me that I can go and see all 998 countries. I don't know how many countries are in the world, clearly.
I can't go to every country in the world.
No, you can't. And that's it. So, that's crazy.
I know. Absolutely crazy. So from then, I've said to myself, I'm never going to be alone in a country.
Well, how did he leave?
I just literally pushed the food on him.
And then he just went?
Pushed the plate towards him. I was like, take it. I literally had 3 spoonfuls. I was trying to eat as much as I could because
you kind of feel it, don't you?
Watching me in my room, in my hotel room.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So,
but do you know what though? And with all seriousness, that could have been worse.
I know.
That could have been a worse situation.
That's why I was trying to make this situation as quick as possible. Like, you imagine, like, you're bringing the food to here, and then you come to sit next to me and watch me eat.
That is crazy.
I know. I'm lucky my boyfriend was on the phone to me because...
Yeah. But, I mean, it didn't deter him, though, did
it? No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
My God. And here's me complaining about a couple of people were nasty to me in Poland.
In Poland.
No, but that is Surreal.
Yeah.
My God. Anyway.
Anyway.
My God.
Anyway, I digress.
You should keep that in. That is a brilliant
Do you
story.
think so?
100%. Yeah,
Do you think so?
definitely.
I said the story on YouTube, like a story time, and people were saying I was bad mouthing Turkey when in no way I am bad mouthing Turkey. I had a fun time.
Your experience, but then I said that about Poland, so I'm not saying all Polish people are like that. It's just my experience of it.
Exactly.
I'm entitled to them. Your podcast, what does it say up there? It says your name. You say what you want on your podcast, and don't let
Exactly.
anybody tell you otherwise.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all I need to hear. Thank you. Commandment 7. Stop. When your dreams come true, it can happen so fast that you hardly notice. Stop and take a look around because it may be happening to you right now. When was it when you first realized that you were making a big impact on social media?
You have climbed into my brain and written this book. There is no way. You have been reading the archives. You know what? I'm just so overwhelmed by what you said. I don't even know what the question was.
When was the first time you realized you were making a huge impact on social media?
Oh wow. Do you know what? I think I received a message a couple of weeks. A couple of months, maybe a couple of weeks, couple of months. I can't remember how long ago it was. And it was from someone who just was like, you know, my mum was diagnosed with cancer. And through everything, the only joy we've been able to have is through just laughing with you and at you, and like that's something that we send each other. And it's when we meet up and she goes for chemo, we sit together and we talk about your latest video. And we like laugh about what you said and why you said it, and the fact that we tag you in videos. And that was their sort of moment together. And then she passed. And I think that really had an impact. That, my God, that brings for me, just sitting in bed making a couple of videos has so much impact on people. I get daily messages from people about how I've helped them with their depression, how young kids are watching me and are inspired by it. A lot of messages, a lot of the time.
I love that.
So yeah, I think that's the moment where I just thought, and that's the moment where I really ramped up my being vocal about the world and issues, because I thought actually there are a lot of people that are listening to me and seeing a voice, so let me give them. And I think when I've posted about, you know, suffering in the world or government policies or criticizing this, that's really when people have gone, oh my God, yes, like thank you. And I get messages and messages saying thank you so much for doing this. And yeah, I think those are moments where families, like, you know, even people that are so far apart from each other, like my best friend moved away to the other side of the world and we communicate through your videos. Yeah, it's a lot. It's very overwhelming, but yeah, it's got to be that. That moment was like,
that
whoa.
is beautiful, I think.
Yeah. To be able to do
feedback like that as well.
Yeah. Because all it is like, I'm making funny videos in my bed, in my hoodie, but it's so much bigger than me now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So much bigger than... and I had a message actually, a couple of, like, that one was pretty big as well. And I had a message from a young boy, I think he was like 13, 14, I can't remember. But it was from his mum, and his mum said that, you know, he was just so happy that there was someone that looked like him online, and he wanted to be a YouTuber like me, and he wanted to do what I did and not be a TikToker or be a YouTuber or be a social media person like me, because, well, he can now.
Yes. Because there's someone out there that looks like him that's doing it already successfully.
And I was like, whoa. That's when those kind of moments are where you realize this is bigger than you. It's just bigger than you just being in a bedroom making TikTok videos. It's big.
Literally, because it's so easy from our perspective, especially if we're at home or going homework. Like, it's so easy to just think, oh, it's just views, just numbers.
Lose sight, don't you?
Yeah, it's just gone up one. Oh, I've got 1 million followers. 1 million people, 1 million phones.
That is crazy.
I've seen your content. Yeah. Like, that is insane. Like, sometimes I forget, okay, that 100,000 or 2 million, or they're real people. like they're actually real people.
But I think it's because we become so desensitized to numbers. You know, I've seen 1 million, and I think I saw somewhere someone said that you have the equivalent of the population of Manchester and Liverpool. If you think about cities
Wow.
like that, that's the following you have. And when I think about actual human beings, and I'm stood in the middle of Manchester City Centre, I'm looking at all these people, and I'm like, what?
They have seen your stuff.
But that's it, like that kind of that much. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, not that I'm seeing a million people, but we forget that number means something, and it means
Yeah.
something to someone. But to hear one comment just makes them real, doesn't it? It makes it real life person.
Exactly.
Or meeting someone in the street, like we were talking about, like meeting
Yeah.
somebody in the street, or seeing people in person saying this to you, like,
I'm sure if you're walking through London,
that's
so
crazy.
many people would have been like, Shabaz, oh my God,
Someone,
you're the reaction.
do you know what? Someone actually sent me something on the train. They sent me a message on the train, airdropped a message to me
No.
from Note saying, "Are you Shabaz says I want to come and say hello, but I'm scared."
Someone did that?
Yeah, someone airdropped it to me because my phone says Shabaz says. I'm literally on brand all the time, right? My phone
Love
says
it.
Shabaz says as well. And they've obviously seen it come up and then gone, Shabaz says it's on the train. Maybe they just knew me. And I was just like, that's crazy. I'm on a random train to London, but okay.
Wow.
You do you, but they didn't come and say hello to me though. So.
They were probably really shy.
Yeah, I do feel it. I feel for him. I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to go up to one.
Have you never gone up to a famous
No, I
person?
have. No, I've seen a couple before. I've never gone up to a famous person. I'm scared.
Really?
No, I get well bad.
What's the worst they can do?
Say no.
That's the worst. That's it.
Yeah,
Say no.
that is the
You're not
worst. I would die. I would die.
You're not gonna lose sleep though.
Yeah,
Are you?
I would. I'd be thinking about it all the way home. No, I don't think. I just think I don't have it in me to go up to someone and be like, are you? But I love it, and I really appreciate it because, like I said, it makes it real.
Yeah.
It makes all this work real. So when somebody comes up to me and says, "I love your videos," it makes what I do real and not
Exactly.
just
Not
numbers.
just in bed
Yeah.
making videos.
Yeah.
Because that's what we can just see. Like sometimes I'm in my studio and I'm just like, okay, I've just got to make another few videos because that's what I have to do as a content creator. But no, I'm making videos for people that love seeing my stuff.
Yeah, totally.
That's literally.
And as it gets
what it
bigger
is.
and bigger, that's more people seeing your stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Insane. So the next commandment. Commandment 8. Love you, learn to love yourself, and then someone else. Have you ever experienced love? Did you love yourself before you found it? And the question is, do you love yourself?
I don't think I love myself enough. I think I'm learning to love myself. I have always said you need to learn to love yourself before you give that love to someone else, because I think far too many people look for love don't have love for themselves and want it from another person.
Yeah.
Until I don't love myself fully and know that I deserve the absolute best,
Exactly.
there's no way that you can then get into a relationship and then expect that person to love you. You know what I mean? Because you set the bar high. You set your bar of love and what you deserve really high. Then
Yeah.
you will always need to find somebody that will match that. But if the bar that you've set is really low, any tiny bit of love that they give you, you'll think it's the world, but it's the bare minimum. And that's the thing, isn't it?
I know too many people in that
This
situation.
is it. And I know myself.
No shade, no tea, but
Yeah, their bar is set so low because
so
of
low.
how much they don't love themselves. So I'm learning to. I'm getting there. Definitely over the last couple of weeks, I've definitely started going, do you know what? You need to just appreciate being amazing and you need to just listen. My God, just listen to the people
You're
around
amazing. You're an
you.
how much can I say?
But
I don't
this
know how
is
many
it,
times
yeah.
that I need to
People
say.
get sick of saying it. They're like, I don't know what else I can say.
No,
But
because Shabaz, you're amazing.
Yeah,
You're
no,
a cool
thank you.
person. Like, yeah,
no, I will.
you're so amazing.
I'll get there. I think it just takes time, doesn't it? I think you spend so many years not doing it, it becomes part of who you
Yeah.
are, isn't it? I think if you spend it's like any habit, you've had it for such a long time that eventually you just think that's who you are. But it's
Yeah.
not who I am. I need to start listening to the other voice. The other voice needs
Listen to
to,
the other one.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
listen
other one
to it.
just needs to go to sit down now.
other
Yeah, have a
one,
break. You've
it
had a
hasn't-
long time.
The other one, you haven't really listened to it much because if you did, would you
yeah,
be here?
Yeah, exactly. But the other
So-
one just needs to go take a break. I mean, have a day off, literally. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Have a day off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think me being able to love myself has made me like survive.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
because for me, I was very depressed. I was not even self-hate, self-loathing. Like, I used
Yes.
to loathe myself
Yeah.
because because of how other people made me feel. And because I've only started maybe a few years ago to really love myself, that's really helped me to thrive and even survive. Because sometimes I don't even want to wake up.
Yeah.
I don't even want
Oh,
to
I
wake
feel
up.
you. I feel you.
Like, what's the point of starting the day when it's going to be a rubbish one, and I'm going to have to struggle with X, Y, and Z, and and then I think when I started to love myself, that's when, as soon as I started, that's when my boyfriend came into my life,
Oh, yeah.
which was
Because you
crazy.
loved yourself, you allowed love in.
Yeah,
That's what's happened is you've allowed love in because you finally found your inner peace and you're like, I am it.
yeah,
I am her.
I am it.
And then your boyfriend's gone, she is her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
It's
So
brilliant.
it literally fell into place like that.
Yeah.
And, if that day, he tricked, do you know what happened? He tricked me onto a date.
Ah, did he? What did he do?
Yeah. Like, initially, we did, like, 4 years ago, when we first ever met, the date went all right. It was fun. I speak about it in my book. Like, it was fun. But he didn't kiss me. And I was thinking, do you not like me? What's going on? Da, da, da. But because the guys I used to deal with were so fast with me, they just wanted to
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much just sleep with
And
me.
he was like respectful.
Yeah. And I was like,
And
you
you're
don't
like,
like me?
why you
Ugh.
not respect? Why are you respecting me for?
Yeah.
Because your expectation is that
If you
well,
like me, then kiss
because
me.
that's what you've always had. That's brilliant. Well
Exactly.
done,
So
Alan.
I kind of ghosted.
Yes. Oh, you did. That's all
At the beginning. I kind of ghosted.
because he wasn't treating you badly.
Yeah.
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 Brilliant.
And this is a lot of girls' logic,
But yeah, yeah. If you treat me nicely, you'll give
I'm
me the
running
ick.
away. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I didn't realize I was doing that.
Yeah.
And it was messed up. And he came back into my life because I needed an editor. I put it on my story and he was like, I
Yeah.
can do it. And I was thinking, oh, this guy again.
Yeah. I
What is he
ghosted
want?
you. Why you
I
go?
ghosted you.
How are you coming back when I ghosted
Yeah.
you?
And I needed an editor. He wanted to do some work and he set up a business meeting, right? This business meeting was in a lovely cafe.
Oh yeah.
And he got me a
Candlelit.
present. Yeah, he got me a present. He got me
Yeah.
some perfume. I was thinking, what is this? I ain't been treated like this.
Yeah.
But I like it. I could get used to
I bet you
this.
go to every business meeting going, excuse me, why am I in an office and why are there not presents? What's going on? Where's my perfume?
Literally.
And they're like, sorry, miss, we're having a serious business meeting.
Exactly. And now I
Oh,
can't
that's
take it
brilliant.
seriously. But I'm joking. Yeah, like, honestly, it was just, I think it was a very different experience for me. And since then, now I know what real relationship
Yeah.
is. Before that, I'd never even been in a proper
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah. All those relationships you thought you were in,
They
you're
weren't.
like, they weren't in relationships.
They
They were
weren't.
barely relation.
They were barely
You know what I mean? They were
relationships.
the R of the relationship.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like they were situationships
Yeah. They were
at
just
this point.
something, yeah.
So
Oh, that's crazy. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good though. Yeah. But yeah, 100%. I think that's a brilliant commandment: is loving yourself first before you love another person.
exactly. I think even him doing all of that stuff, I thought to myself, because there's so many doubts that come in your head when someone new is coming into your life. You're thinking, oh, do they actually love me or like me? Because at the time it was like, do they actually like me? What if they treat me badly? What
Yeah.
if this? What if that? And I thought to myself, this guy is treating me nicely. This is the most any guy's
Yeah.
ever done. So accept it
Yeah.
and just see where it goes. And
Brilliant.
so yeah, it's definitely right. Like, love yourself, and you can't love someone
If you
else.
love yourself. Go on.
Commandment 9. Be heard. It is hard to thrive in a world that doesn't seem to respect you or listen to your perspective. It is even harder to make it change. But just because it's hard doesn't mean it's not necessary. And just because they don't listen, it doesn't mean that you won't be heard. when has been a time you've been fearless enough to speak up or make a change? I know we've been speaking about this probably throughout, but like, what has made you be that person to speak up?
Do you know what? I've always been quite outspoken. I've always fought for my own rights, and I've always fought for other people's rights, and I've always made empowered people. I've
Yes.
always wanted to empower people. I've always said this very like famous saying, and it'll go down in history books. You know, become
Yes, it
quotes.
will.
You know, like Albert Einstein says, Shabaz says. I have always said that where I'm stood, if I'm stood at the top of the podium, and somebody's trying to get there, lift them up with you. Right?
Yes.
Reach that hand out and lift them up with you. If there's only room for one person up there, put them on your shoulders. Both
Yeah.
of you stand on one leg each, right? Have
Exactly.
you know what I mean? You stand on theirs, they stand on yours, whatever, but bring people up with you.
Mm-hmm.
There's room for everyone up here. Do a bloody one of those pyramid things if you need to, because at the end of the day, we've all got room for the higher you climb, the more you bring people up with you. And I've always liked to empower people. But I think the biggest thing I fought for so much was probably in my teaching career. I fought a lot in my teaching career because when I first started doing teaching and the YouTube thing and the TikTok thing, it was like, oh, well, what do you mean you're doing social media? Then you can't do that. And I was like, I am going to do that.
Yes.
I
You
will
can't
be
tell
doing
me
that
otherwise.
because I will be the best teacher ever. I will teach and I will do the amazing jobs. But if you want to lose me, then you lose me because I'm going to carry on doing social media. And the school, I've got to respect them because they chose to keep me. They were like, fine, you stay and you do it as long as you understand what the repercussions could be. And I was like, I will accept that.
What repercussions?
Just because they were like, you know, someone can misconstrue something you say. Someone can take something out of context. Kids could bully you, print out pictures, post it all over school. I was like, I will accept whatever it is to come.
That's so brave of you, though.
I think I'm the only one in the school or only one in his entire career that's had that, because I don't know many teachers that are doing both at the same time. I know a lot of teachers that are doing teacher social media and teacher, you know what I mean, like teaching social media, like their Twitters and their thingies, but a lot of teachers aren't really doing a lot of social media because they're fearful. And that's the time where I was just like, I'm going to stand up for my right because I should be able to do it. I'm wise enough, I'm old enough to know what's respectful and how to behave in the classroom and out of the classroom. But I'm not going to stop my content because back then, this is 2015, 17, where I thought I have the faith in me to do well in this industry. But both industries at the same time.
Yeah.
We're like 5 years later.
Well, you did it though.
Yeah, so that's it.
That's such a brave thing to go through, because a lot of schools, like,
they wouldn't have accepted it. They wouldn't have. I have to praise him. I mean, with all his faults and with all the issues that head teacher had with the way he was with people, he allowed me to do that. And yes, he went, right, carry on, but he saw the teacher I became, and I honestly, there's not many things I praise myself in, but my God, am I a good teacher? Like, I work my backside off. There's one thing I'm not even going to deny. As you call me arrogant, I don't care what you call me. I'm a brilliant teacher, and I'm not denying that, because I know I can walk in a classroom and I can own it. So, I mean, I wish I had that much confidence.
And you can teach them a thing or two.
I wish I had that much confidence in everything else, but I just know I'm good at the teaching. So I appreciate it. Like, I appreciate him letting me do that, but it's been a hard struggle, because every school I have to start again. Every school I have to start again, because every school I've been to, I've had to hide it, tell them. Now I'm at that stage where I'm like, teaching is, I'm going to do this and I'm going to carry on doing this. So I've said it to, when I joined my current school, I just went up to the HR straight up and I was like, I'm on social media. The kids are going to know about it. It's all protected. None of the kids can message me privately. I don't message them privately. My inbox is closed. School comments are filtered. Teachers' names, school names. They don't call me sir. I won't discuss it in the classroom. Do you want me to stay or not?
Do you know what? That's experience as well.
Yeah.
From being in different schools and how they've reacted and what you've gone through with social media and school.
Some schools are insanely amazing, right? So some of the schools are like I remember the head teacher. I remember when I hit 1 million on Instagram, and like the the teachers all went and posted posters of like my blue tick. I got a blue tick and I like a million on Insta and TikTok. They'd all posted around school, and like we had a 1 million party, and like they were that brilliant. And the kids were like, they'd come in and they'd be like, oh my God, Mr. Ali, congratulations, and all. You know what I mean? Like they were brilliant with it. They loved it. They talk about the videos. They let me do assemblies on it. Some schools are very scared of it, the power of social media and how social media, the influence it has. Some people just don't understand it. There's a lot of old school teachers that have been teaching since, before the internet began. So
yep, and all they know is textbooks and books and
not even colour TVs. Some of them, you know what I mean? No, I'm kidding. They're not that old. But yeah, do you know what I mean? So obviously, it's a scary topic. It's a scary issue. It's a scary place because I know people will exploit it and will use it. I just think it takes one clown to ruin all these chances for the rest of us, isn't it? So, it's not been me so far. It's just I've tried to keep it as
You're doing a good job of it.
Do you know what I mean? I've hopefully done that for other teachers in the future who do want to do both.
Yeah.
I've opened the door, hopefully.
You have opened
Pioneer.
the door and many doors.
And many doors.
Teachers, for Asian people, for so many people.
Yeah.
Like, you are representing for the underrepresented.
Oh God, yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? And that's like, you were talking about power. That, like, you were talking about the idea that, I didn't realise that that's what I was doing as well at the same time.
Yeah.
With unknowingly, that's what you're doing at the same time.
Do you feel like your Povo gang can make a social change?
100%.
Yes.
I think the Povo gang will do amazing. I think the Povo gang being able to accept that we're not all the same. We don't all come from the same upbringing, but also acknowledging the fact that we are, like that Povo pride that I've talked about. Povo gang being able to acknowledge Povo pride, or even their own privilege as well, in the sense that I'm not saying Povo gang is just made up of people that are poor. Because when I say Povo's changed so much, because it's gone from this idea of we use the word Povo to describe people who are poor, but everyone's a Povo in comparison to Jeff Bezos. Everyone's a Povo, aren't we? We don't have that kind of money. Everyone's a Povo in comparison to Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner, all these lot. So anyone can join it. So somebody wrote in my comment section saying, I'm middle class and my thing looks like that's it. I'm not a Povo. I was like, you are. Just because you're middle class doesn't mean you can't be a Povo. Like, you can be, doesn't matter what class or what thing, you can still be a Povo, because in comparison, we are all Povos. So I think we are in that stage where a revolution is coming.
Yes.
And we are ready not to accept that this unfairness in society. And I'm hoping that the bigger the Povo gang grows, the more people will be empowered to do more in the world and to trying to make change. And as the Gen Z, who I love, I think this generation is amazing and they'll do brilliant things in the world. I have so much faith in Gen Z and the generations to come, because I know how they are fearless.
Yes.
They are fearless because they have people like...
Fearless.
Yes. They have your book. They have people like me and you.
Have people like me and you. Tools like my book can help them, future generations, and look back and think, okay, I can look at my journey. I can love myself.
Yeah.
There's so many things that I need to do because Fats Timbo has told me. So,
and that all the things you're teaching them, and honestly, I say this, all the things you're teaching them is going to empower people, because it's going to empower someone young that's reading it right now, the age of 13, 14, that is going to be the social change that we need in the world.
Yes.
That is going to, because that's why I love teaching, because I love the fact that the people that are in front of me could be the future.
Yes.
God knows what. They could make so much change in the world just by me saying one thing. And I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of the world that I know they're going to do amazing things. I know this generation is going to change the world and undo the wrongs of our forefathers and our ancestors and stuff. They're going to change that. And I want to be part of that change. I want to leave this world behind, having gone, I was a part of inspiring the next generation to change the world for the better.
You're so inspiring. I can't.
Honestly, my Gandhi got nothing on me. No, I just love, and I love humanity, and I love the world, and I just want everybody just to do. I want to bake a cake, and I want everybody to see it. She doesn't even go here. Like,
I just want to bake a cake,
and I just want everyone to be happy.
Eat cake all day.
Yeah. She doesn't even go here. I just that.
The last commandment, commandment 10. Look back and then forwards, because both learning and dreaming are time well spent. Looking back, what are the fears that you've had to overcome?
Oh, wow. I think when we talked about it earlier about dying,
Yeah.
I think I've had to overcome a lot of fears of that because I think it stopped me from doing too much. And it's also made me do a lot as well, like at the same time. Like, it's weird because I think because I've always thought, oh my god, what if I die, it's always hindered me as a little bit as well.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's hindered me because I never want to do too much, because I think, what if I do so much and then I don't get to complete it, you know what I mean? So there's that part of me. But I think the biggest fear I've had to overcome is probably my own self-doubt. That's it, isn't it? Like my own
Yeah.
self-doubt, my own self-worth. I think that's my biggest, like, is that it's got to be that. It's got to be um overcoming. Oh, it's hard.
Like, I'm sure there's fears that you're like, that don't scare me no more. Like, do they still scare you? Or, because
Um,
did social media scare you at all?
no,
Or is something you always wanted to do?
social media's never scared me. No, it's
Really?
never scared me. I've never been scared to put myself online or put myself
Really?
out there. Or
Have you
maybe
ever
I
been
have.
scared to like press post on something because you're nervous about how people would react or
Oh yeah,
something?
that happens quite a lot. I think I say no, social media's never scared me, but I think there probably was a time where I was fearful of what people are going to say and what people are going to react to and how people are going to perceive me. I think I tell you what I've done in life is the way I've overcome anything is just by faking it. So I'm really not confident in walking into a room first, meeting a bunch of strangers. So even this morning meeting, um, the team, yeah, I was really nervous and I was really like, oh, like, but I just faked it. I thought
Yeah,
I'm going as fake confidence, and then eventually everyone just believes it and eventually get comfortable.
exactly.
So walk into a room, act fake, not act fake. Walk into a room, I'm like,
Like, hi,
hi,
yeah, I
hi,
like
I
your
love you.
shoes.
Your shoes are brilliant. I love that dress. No, I mean, like, go into a room and fake that you are confident and you are owning it, and then people believe it, you believe it, and then it just becomes a
Exactly,
norm. And I've done
exactly.
that in everything in life. So I've always been confident or faked confidence
Yeah,
and then become confident because of it.
I feel like there should be like a word for it, because it is fake confidence, but it's not at the same time, because
Yeah.
you're self-aware that you're scared, but at the same time you're like, I'm just gonna be me, and
Yeah,
if it
yeah, yeah.
works out, it's fine, and
Yeah.
that is fearless in itself.
Yeah,
Do
like
you know what I
I don't even
mean?
know what the word would be to, like, yeah.
I don't know what the word would be, but it's
But
not, because it's not fake.
it's
That's the
not really
thing.
fake confidence. I'm not faking it. I'm just pulling it
Yeah.
out of somewhere, really, aren't I?
You're
Yeah.
pulling it out of
I'm
somewhere,
pulling
and I
out of,
do that as
yeah.
well. Like, you just put it on. You're like, okay, I need to switch on
That
this
confidence
button.
got to come from somewhere for you to be able to act that confident.
Exactly,
You know what
because
I mean? We
some
don't just,
people literally
yeah.
cannot. They can't find it
Yeah.
anywhere in themselves.
But
Because
that's
I
it.
do say, yeah, fake it till you make it. How do I do that? I'm like, I don't know.
I think the key is just to I think the key thing to do is if you're doubting, like, for example, I use the walking in the room analogy, right? If I'm walking into a room and I'm really nervous about it, what's the alternative? Don't go in the room. Well, you need to
And
go in the room.
exactly.
Like, you got to go in the room. You got to meet these people. So what you going to do then? Not do it. That's what it is about being fearless. I think that's what fearless is, isn't it? Is that idea that, right, just open the door and get it over and done with. Rip that plaster off.
Yeah,
Get on with it. Yeah. So that's what being faking it is. Walk into that room and act like, you're all right. You're fine. Whatever you feel on the inside, don't, that doubt and that fear, don't let that manifest. Go with, I'm going to walk into that room. I'm going to own it. And
yeah,
then eventually everyone thinks you are owning it. And eventually you've owned it. That's it, done.
that is it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Like, there's no way of complicating it, or as soon as you turn it on, you're like, oh, hi, da, da, da. You literally believe it
Yeah.
yourself, and
You
you
convince yourself that. I think that the biggest thing
exactly,
is you're not convincing anyone else, you're convincing yourself. You
exactly.
walk in that room, you act confident, you do your thing, and eventually you've just convinced yourself that, yeah, I'm all right, I'm fine, I can do this. I'm boss this. Takes
Simple.
a while though,
It's
doesn't it?
as simple as that, literally. And the last question I'm gonna ask you is, what's next?
Oh wow. I have so many dreams. I have a dream. This
I
is
have a
Martin
dream.
Luther King's second
Yes.
speech, isn't it? I have loads of dreams. I just have a lot of. I just want to be able to reach as many people. I think over the last couple of weeks, when we talk about journey and self-reflection, the biggest self-reflection I've had is that how much can I do in this world, and what legacy can I leave behind through social media, TV, whatever I do. What impact am I having on this earth and this planet and the people on this planet? So whatever I do is always going to be, that's always going to be the forefront of it. Putting people first, whether that's their happiness, their joy, their comfort, or whatever it is, being able to do that. But also at the same time, just being able to be comfortable within my own skin.
Yes.
I made a video to myself to 2020, right?
Did you?
Yeah. So I recorded a YouTube video to myself in 2020, at the end of 2020, after the whole lockdown thing, when 2020 hit. And I said, so it was about to go into 2021, and I recorded it to go live on December the 31st, 2025. So it was meant to go live in 3 years,
Yeah.
2 years time now. And it was just talking to myself in the future and saying, and one of the biggest things I said was, I hope in 2025, you're just happy. Like, I hope that you're just, oh my God, I'm going to get emotional. I hope that you are just content. I just hope that you have found whatever it is that you will have been looking for within yourself, whatever that is. I hope you've just found it. And it's so important that that's the message I gave myself in the future, like from the past. It's a bit haunting, isn't it? Like, ooh, I'm from the past. Like, oh my God, Shabaz, you're putting on a lot of weight, by the way. What's going on here? I should have said that message and be like, what's happened here?
What's
happened
going
here?
on?
Yeah. But I did say, like, I just hope that regardless of whatever you searched for in terms of success and and this and being rich and whatever is that you were looking for, I hope you found at least true happiness.
Yes.
And contentness, if that's even a word.
I don't know.
But I hope you're content. And that's, I think that's what I just want to get to. I want to get to the stage where I'm just, but if you ask me in terms of materialistic things, a book, a podcast, a TV show, and all of the above.
Which will happen.
All of the above.
I already know. I already see it.
Yeah.
I'm already pre-ordering your book, and I'm
Yes.
already going to listen to your
Yeah.
podcast because you've been on mine. And
if you
will
turn
do a
around, that
great-
book will disappear in a second because I'm
Yeah.
taking that stuff home.
Yeah,
I'm
so
reading that on the way home.
Let me keep this.
Yeah.
I'm joking. But it's been amazing.
Thank you so much for having me, honestly.
You are such a beautiful person.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. It's a pleasure even speaking to you.
I appreciate that.
I cannot wait to see your future because it's going to be
Well,
bright.
you're going to be there, love. You're going
Listen,
to be
you're
there.
going to be there.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
we're going to be there for each
yeah,
other.
100%.
And it's going to be a beautiful journey together. So I can't wait.
Yeah. Amazing.
Where can people find you?
Shabaz says. I'm literally Shabaz says and everything. Reddit as well. I even have a Reddit.
Reddit?
Check
You
me
even
out.
have a
I even have a
Reddit?
LinkedIn. LinkedIn, is that what it's called? I have
LinkedIn.
Shabaz says everywhere, literally. Shabaz says Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook,
Everywhere.
Twitter.
Just
Shabaz
search
says.
Shabaz says.
There you go.
Okay? Because that's it.
That's what
it.
Shabaz says.
Exactly. Well, it's been so much fun. We're going to end the podcast here. But before we end it, I'm going to tell you guys that you can purchase my book right now from Amazon, Waterstones, wherever. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And I'll see you on the next podcast. Thanks for listening today. It's been fun. Remember to look out for my book, Main Character Energy, 10 Commandments to Living Life Fearlessly. It will be available at all good bookstores. Now.